A lot of brands won't pay you that here because they don't see the value. The creators who haven't made them see the value. Even the creators see it as like it's fun, like they're just having fun. There's no standard for even rate cards. Everyone charges differently. Yeah, I think everybody needs to really get to know themselves. When you get to know yourself, you become powerful because you are your superpower. Like, do you know what I mean? We are all created unique for a reason.
If I could travel anywhere in the world right now, I would go to
Thailand!
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Unscripted with Raygan. This is the first episode of season 2, and today we have with us the CEO and co-founder of Jambo Spaces. So we have with us Meister, also known as Bernard.
What's up, Raygan?
Known as MeisterMind.
Yeah, MistaMind.
Where's the mind from?
Whatever. I don't know, like MasterMind.
Like big brain sort of.
Yeah, that.
Nice to have you.
Yeah. Same here, thanks
we did a tour of the space.
Thanks for coming by, Jambo.
Yeah, guys, this is a very nice space. If you've not seen the tour studio, I think you should watch that. This is a very nice space. You are doing amazing. I mean, when Twitter used to be Twitter, I mean, most of us knew you as, Meister.
Before X.
Yeah, before X. And yeah, we just want to, talk to you, get to know who Meister is, your background, because you're doing amazing. Putting up something huge like this is crazy, and you have other things as well. I think I saw brand Meister, if I'm correct, which is the digital marketing, I think. Yeah, then you have like the music part, running Jambo and all that. So who is Meister? Who is Bernard? Let's know you.
I'm a Ghanaian, I'm a black man. So my name is Bernard Halfway Sope. Everyone calls me Meister. Meister basically means someone who's good at what he does, and it's a German word. I've worked in brand marketing for 12 years. Yeah, I mean, in my uni days, I used to do events and stuff. So it was still sort of working in that space, but officially working started in 2011.
Okay.
I started my career in an ad agency as a graphic designer. So I did graphic design, then I did copywriting in the ad agency. And then I moved to client service. So I started dealing with the client and making sure that I was the liaison between the client and the agency. Okay. Then fast forward, I moved to the client side officially. That was Vodafone. I worked in Vodafone as a brand and digital specialist. Okay. So basically, I was responsible for creating all the social platforms. I mean, at that time, a lot of brands were trying to use social, but didn't understand how to go about it. So they'll set up their account and it's just there. Once in a while, they'll put an update. So I would say I was one of the pioneers of doing like an actual digital strategy, creating social like activations and stuff. And some of our staff won awards, like some of the stuff I did. I was also responsible for Vodafone Icons, especially the Streets edition, where we went to the streets to find talent. I worked as customer loyalty in Vodafone, then did Vodafone X. Wow. Vodafone X was my baby. So I built Vodafone X, and I moved to Tonaton to work as a marketing manager. And around that time, so I started working in music. My friend Tosin, Mr. Easy. Okay. Because of him, I set up MeisterMind because I'm like, okay, let me help you with the marketing. It started blowing up, and I built a label out of it. So then I did Tonaton, and I was still doing music, and I did the music too side by side, my corporate life, for like 4 years. So probably ended around like 2018 actively. I worked in Hubtel. I went to Hubtel because of the rebrand. So they were called SMSGH, and they wanted to do a rebrand. So I went as a brand manager, helped with the rebrand, and then I set up my agency, Brand Meister. The reason I set up Brand Meister was because this market we're in, a lot of people want to build brands that are lasting, that people are loyal to, like how people love Coca-Cola, regardless of whatever bad PR about Coke. And but the common thing we see is that they all just want to the one quick wins, like, I just want to make my
They're
money.
not in for the long term.
Yeah, you can't blame them because, like, I mean, Ghana is hard and people just want, no one has time to be blowing money into building a brand and thinking of the long term. But I feel like there's always a balance, and I wanted to be able to create that balance, be able to let you have quick wins at the same time, building something long term so that people will still patronize you whether you do marketing or not. And that's how I set up MeisterMind. And then 6 months into MeisterMind, I decided to go and do my master's in brand leadership in Norwich in the UK. So my business partner, Therese, the one you met downstairs, she took over with another partner of mine, David Clay, and then I went to school. So so that was a trajectory. After I came back, and then I just kept doing MeisterMind for as long as I could, worked with multiple brands, over 30 brands, and lots of campaigns. Then I was hired by Twitter.
How did that happen?
They reached out to me. They just sent me an email. There was a headhunter that sent me an email from South Africa. There's a white lady. And she reached out to me, sent me a long email saying, there's a role that they've been trying to hire for a while, but they've been struggling, but they think I'm the best fit for the role. Am I interested in leaving like my business and coming to do it? I'm like, okay. I mean, I have very able partners, and it's always been my dream to work in a social media giant. So I'm like, I'll do it, why not? And then interview processes, boom, then I got in. So I did Twitter for like a year and a half or something, and they sold the company and they pulled out of other markets except America. So like Brazil, India, like all the other markets, they just pulled out, and it affected my job. And then Jambo was born because I was already nursing that dream of amplifying creatives to the world, African creatives to the world. So that's me. I'm a dad. I have two toddlers.
Wow.
Crazy toddlers. I'm looking for someone who will buy them. So if you know anyone,
you are joking.
If you know anyone that will buy them, Charlie, I mind they.
The stress is more.
Yeah, the stress.
But I mean, this is like a whole lot of experience working at Vodafone, Tonaton. I think Fido, if that's the name. Yes,
I did Fido for like 4 months, but I didn't like it. And so I don't really add it to.
Oh, okay. Then Twitter. Right. And I mean, in all these places, you were doing amazing things. And mostly, I think I watched your tech talk with, the tech Accra thing, and you were talking about social media. So it seems like this is something I've always been passionate about, the whole social media branding thing. Was there any specific thing that kind of pushed you to get into that space? Or was just like...
two things, passion and circumstance. So, okay, it's so interesting. When I was working in the agency, right, I would always come to work, and like in any free time I have or in between work, when I'm designing, my iMac, like, iMacs have very large screens, and I would open TweetDeck. I don't know if you remember TweetDeck.
I'm a little shocked.
Okay. So there's this, those times tweeting with actual Twitter wasn't fun. Because it wasn't developed nicely. Like it was only nice to tweet on web, but using on your phone, like, it was crap. So there were what we call Twitter clients. There was something called Snap2. There was something called Uber Social.
Guys, I'm a small boy.
There was something called TweetDeck. So they had all these retweets and things. Like, they had all these cool things you could do with Twitter. And then, so TweetDeck would put your DMs in one side on the same screen, your timeline, your mentions. Like, it's all like one big dashboard, and then you can. And then I'd always open my TweetDeck, and I'm just like tweeting away. And my creative director, they were from Latin America, El Salvador, and Honduras. They would say, you should be a community manager. You should consider being a community manager one day. I'm like, what's a community manager? That's how bad it was. That's how we didn't know what those things were. I'm like, what's a community manager? And she's like, you don't know what a community manager is? Then she'll call me. Then she opened the, went online because she's Spanish, so English wasn't too good. But then she showed me, someone who manages social platforms, creates engagement. I'm like, ooh, that's a job. And then we went to pitch the idea to Tigo that we can manage your socials for you. So that's just how it started. So I started getting very intrigued about social. So by the time I went to Vodafone, like, and they needed that, I'm like, yeah, I do it. Because at that time, Vodafone was, their social media agency was in Kenya.
Whoa.
And we were working remotely. They were called Squad Digital. So I come and I'm like, I can do it. Like, you don't need the agency.
Yeah.
So we work with the agency briefly. We moved the agency, the job from Kenya and bring it to Ghana. And I think Echo House was the one that we started working with because they were working with the youth and we were working with social. And there was even a lot of hand-holding with Echo House. Like, I had to do training with them because I had gotten a grasp of it. And right now, like, they are one of the best social agencies out there. But yeah, that's just how I got into doing social. I was passionate about it, and also
there was a circumstance
that brought me opportunity into it. Yeah,
and you just grabbed it. I think Sheldon knows had a similar story. Opportunity came and then grabbed it. That's very. If you
don't do so, then
it
go over you.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so now Jambo, right? We did a tour of the place. Amazing place. Running Jambo, right? What was there? I think you said you left Twitter and then you started the Jambo.
I'd already started.
Okay.
I found a place.
Okay.
And I started, and you know, on Twitter, I was working with the loudest voices on the continent. So a mix of influencers, celebrities, just activists, anybody that had a voice, like a loud voice.
Yeah.
So I was so passionate about how do we get this, and I realized that those voices, I remember, oh my God, we did a Twitter space, and they wanted a moderator, and then they introduced me to some Black American girl, I can't remember her name. And she just came on the space to moderate it briefly, like an MC sort of thing. They paid her $10,000.
Come again?
Yeah, that was it, they paid her $10,000. And then I'm like, yo, this is for creators. And I used to see the checks that, oh, we made a creator post this, we made a creator record this, we made a creator do a takeover of our Twitter music page, and
this
you see the checks, $25,000, $10,000, $40,000. I'm like, what? Ghana, like,
people are chopping dollars.
Look at all some of our people have like crazy reach, like some of these Nigerian creators and stuff. So I won't even mention names. So one of the times, or even twice, I got like local creators gigs through Twitter and I remember they sent me their invoice. And I'm like, listen, you better redo that invoice because
it's an insult.
It's not an insult per se, but you deserve more. Like, you can earn more. Okay. So please redo it. And they were scared. I'm like, no, do it properly. I didn't give them any figure, but I'm like, send what you really want.
What do you think is a problem when it comes to something like that?
And that's why we built Jambo, because one, a lot of brands won't pay you that here because they don't see the value. And the creators who haven't made them see the value. Okay. Even the creators see it as like it's fun, like they're just having fun. So let's say there's no standard for even rate cards. Everyone charges differently. Yeah. But like two of us, we could be friends, and one brand will come and say, I want to engage you, and then you give a price that is, you mention your price, right? Then they would go behind
to the other friend.
And maybe it's too high for them, they'll go to your friend, and your friend will take it. And then when your friend takes it, then it's like, it just messes up the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no standard, basically. So that was an example of bring a proper invoice, charge properly. And then I think I like about 3 creators and even one musician. I don't want to mention names, but those are the things I was passionate about. How do I put my people on?
Okay.
How do I, like those times when I'm verifying people think I'm just verifying people, I'm just dashing ticks. But no, like sometimes they want to even engage someone here and they're like, does he have a badge? I'm like, don't worry, that will be solved. And then I'll put a badge on for them and then they would engage them and it looks legit. Or they want to actually engage the person, but that's like a criteria like you need to have a badge. And people just didn't get it. People just thought, oh, this guy just dashing badges. That's the interesting thing. Like I'm trying to put my people on. Like that was my dream. Everybody for reach. Everyone for see what's out there. Yeah. And so I was so passionate about that. And even before Twitter ended, I started setting up this space. I found a space. We realized that back at Meister, we had a lot of creators who were working with influencers that were using for work with brands. And we're like, we want to give them, they come to our space, they come and say they use the internet. And I'm like, why don't you create a space? We still have our office in here. So Meister still works from here.
Okay.
We still have our office in here, but we want them to be able to meet people, connect with each other, create content together, and collaborate.
Yeah.
So that's why Jambo was built. And Jambo has been evolving since we built it. People still look at Jambo and they think that, oh, it's a workspace, but no, it's beyond that.
It's more than a workspace.
It's a creator hub, and we are even more focused on education now. So we have 3 pillars. We have space, we have education, and then we have resources. Space is giving podcast space, music studio space, event space, any kind of space for anything. Because a lot of creators don't have space and they can't afford it. That's ticked out. First year, we've given space to a lot of people. Even some for free, and in exchange, we do a partnership where when you make revenue, we get a percentage
or something.
So they don't go through that hell of, oh, I'm going to pay for, how do you call it, space, and I can't afford space, so I can't do my thing. Then the education part, workshops, master classes, and we're about to launch a digital creator academy. So basically, we're about to teach people how to be influencers and content creators. And we want to churn out at least 50 content creators every quarter, if we can. If we have money, obviously, we increase it to 200. And then the resource part, where we noticed that, I don't know your equipment, whether you guys, do you own your equipment?
Yeah.
All of it, okay. But majority of the people who come here do not own their equipment.
Rent house and all that. They
rent it. So we want to be able to rent out equipment to people. So the goal is to have any kind of camera you can think of, from Alexa to Blackmagic to Hasselblad to whatever it is. You should be able to get it from here. If you want to shoot a Netflix type movie, you should be able to rent a camera from here, or a light, or a ring light, whatever it is, a microphone. That's the plan, but it's very cost intensive, and we're looking for people to support us, give us money.
Please come and give Meister.
I went to this place in the UK called Roundhouse. Beautiful place, and they have multiple studios. They have about 5 music studios. They have even a DJ studio where there's a DJ console and there are cameras and a screen. So you go, you set up your DJ thing and you rehearse. And as you're rehearsing, it's surround sound though. As you're rehearsing, you're watching yourself and you're seeing if your skill or your posture is right and everything. Yeah, it's so dope. I wish you could do all that here, but
it's
all money, man.
It's all money. Please come in. I think you mentioned that in Shawty's
Anyway, go on.
You mentioned that in Shawty's interview. There's the opportunity for investment and all that. So if you're watching and you want to invest, you can come. Just a side question. You seem to like other languages, because Jambo meaning hello, Meister is a German language. What exactly? Why?
I think it's just very coincidental, but I also like cryptic meaning of things. So I'll go figure it. I'm like, oh, okay, but it's not really deliberate. Yeah.
Okay. I think you touched on it. Maybe somebody didn't realize you have something called the 3 C's about Jambo Spaces.
Connect, create, and collaborate. Connecting is just basically building a network, connecting with people, getting to know people, because your network really matters in this thing that we do. I always say everywhere I've worked is because of my network. Someone will call me and be like, hey, I've seen your work. I remember your work from here, so come and work here. And that's just how it's been for me all through my career. So I want creatives to come here and then connect with each other. I want the creates is for them to be innovative, just create new shit, create new content, create new stuff. Just create. And then the last one is collaborate. And I'm a big advocate for partnerships and collaboration. Someone might have some strength that you do not have, or might have an audience that you need. And by collaborating with them, it will boost you, or you will boost them. And I'm so big on collaboration. When I was at Twitter, I was a senior partner manager. That was partnerships was my thing. Making sure I can connect. And I'm so good I feel like I've gotten so good at it that I'm able to secure partnerships that not even one CD will be exchanged.
Wow.
Yeah, because of we'll do barter or we would find synergy between like two people.
How do you do it exactly? Let's see if we can steal it.
How do you
do it that no CDs exchange?
I mean, you just need to find something that the other person wants.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, you shoot podcasts, you have like, you have your show.
Yeah.
I could have a partnership with you where I would always give you my space to shoot for free. And in exchange, any brand I work with will advertise at the bottom of your podcast. So you're not paying for the space, and I'm also not paying for, how do you call it, visibility for my clients. And everybody's happy.
I mean, we can talk more about that behind cameras.
But that's just like a typical example
I get
of, I'll give you a good example. Spacely, Link Pop, right? That their merchandise thing. I just reached out to Spacely. I'm like, yo, do you have space for your events? It's like, no, we don't have space here. We're now trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay, I'll give you space.
Okay.
Come, I'll give you the entire space. Come and do your events. I'll find you sponsors. Okay. When I find you a sponsor, you give me 30% and you take 70%. When you sell at your gate, you give me 30% and you take 70%. And then I went to find him sponsors. And I found him a lot of sponsors. Like, he made money.
You also made.
He didn't pay for the space, but he made money, right?
Yeah.
Without, he didn't like, he did not pay for the space. He got sponsors. He made money through sponsorships. That's he used to execute the event and rent out things. And then he also made money at the gate too. And he basically didn't have to pre-finance anything. But that's what a perfect partnership is. I also had him in my space. I got his community to come enjoy Jambo. They liked it. After that, some of them came to book it later to use it. Now there are a lot of them who even come and work here. So that is the synergy that I'm talking about. Like, be able to find
a problem,
how two people can benefit from each other. And it's called, I mean, in the olden days, they used to do barter trade before money actually came. So, and if you can master that, trust me, like, you can get so much done. Like, most of the time when I'm about to do something, I'm always thinking, okay, who needs me? Okay, what can I give them? What can I give them? And then based on that, I'll be able to set a partnership. Most of the time when I send a proposal to, and because I worked in brand and worked in Vodafone, when I send a proposal to a brand to sponsor something, 99% of the time I get it. Because I make it very clear what you need. I tell you what it is, and I have one page that just says, I'll give you this, you give me this. And when they see it, they're like, we love it, let's go. But a lot of people don't know, and a lot of creators don't know. They just do proposals, talking plenty about their work, what they do, this.
But that's not what the clients are looking for.
I want 50,000. What are you giving them for 50,000? Do you understand? So a lot of creators don't know this, and that's why we built this space. The education part, teaching them how to monetize, teaching them how to find sponsors, teaching them how to monetize their event and put value on it, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yes.
Find what the other person needs.
What did you say?
Find what the other person needs. Look at what you have that you can exchange for that, and you're good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
Thank you. All right. So, I mean, 12 years in brand marketing, working at Vodafone, Twitter, starting Jambo and all that. What has been some of the things that has kind of influenced like your whole journey, your career and all that? It can be a person too. Maybe your wife.
Interestingly, at each stage, there's always been like somebody that's been like, I'm looking up to, or someone. But I'll say, first of all, the whole idea of career, corporate, like, I mean, I'm a creative, but I have a very corporate side too. I'll say that side is my bigger brother.
Okay.
Because my bigger brother is 3 years older than me, and he was the only person I was looking at as an example of what I should be doing. So even like from when he completed, he's called Selon, by the way, but he works, he's a VP in Bank of America in the States. After JSS, I followed him to Persec. He went to tech, I followed him to tech. He started working, and that's when I got excited about career. I'm like, okay. I like the way he's like going to work, he has something set up, he has a vision, and I'm like, oh, I'd like that. And then right after school, I started work 2 weeks after. And I've been working since, you understand? So even in as much as I'm still doing all these creative things, I still always sort of have like a 9 to 5. My 9 to 5 now is I'm the brand director at Juventus Academy and Smart Africa. So that's like my 9 to 5. And then I do this on the side, So the beginning overall for career has been my brother. And then at every stage that I got to, like Vodafone, like there's so many people. There was Cynthia Toto, my first boss, then there was Eric Ogo, who was like, I felt like I followed in his footsteps. He was doing music on the side, he was doing events. He was like, I would follow him after work and he would be driving around town. He used to manage 4x4. He was doing so much and I was just learning from him. He started Vodafone Icons, he built the VGMA, the partnership. He's an amazing guy, he's a genius. And I always like hit him up for advice. It's so crazy. Every time I call Eric, when I'm about to do like a big career jump, I'm like, I'll hit him up. I need advice. Then he'll tell me what he thinks, and then I'll move like that. I met up with him in Dubai last year. Same thing, asking him advice on the next steps. He's always been there. So at each stage, there's always been
somebody, like talking about Eric, if that's the name.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think your circle of friends does to you? Because I think you said at anytime you want to do like have a career jump, you're asking for advice. Has your circle of friends impacted everything?
Interestingly, I don't want to say I don't have friends, right? But
they are watching.
No, I don't have a lot of close friends.
Okay.
I have a lot of acquaintances.
Okay.
Right. But I love them all. Like I would support. Regardless of anything, but I like to be alone a lot. Yeah. That's something people don't know about me. I like my alone space.
I think most of the creators, even me myself, I like being alone. And most of the time, people ask the question, how do you balance that part safe?
I like being alone. I feel like I'm at my most creative when I'm alone. I'm able to think up the next plan. Like I can even travel alone and just stay alone. Like I don't mind being alone. I won't get lonely. I don't think I ever get lonely. Like I love my company. So I don't have a circle of friends. I have friends in different in different spheres. And at each time there's always someone that maybe I look up to for something. So it is hard for my circle. I think the only time I've had like strong circle of friends was when maybe in my early days in JSS and stuff, and a bit after SS when I was just home and I was just hanging out with like area boys and stuff. So that's when maybe like I realized that even the things that I like, I don't really like them. I like them because the group likes them, like my gang likes them, and I started spending more time alone to find out what I really like. Because I realized I'm following some trend that, no, it's not for me. It's not my thing. And I think everybody needs to really get to know themselves. When you get to know yourself, you become powerful because you are your superpower. Like, do you know what I mean? We are all created unique for a reason. And if you are following trends that are not your ideals, you will be going around in circles for as long as you know it, and before you know it, it's too late to go back and be like, I never took time to actually see that like this is what I want. And that's why you don't compare yourself to people, because everyone is forging a different path. You understand? You can't look at someone and say, because this person is doing this, I also want to do this. No, like figure out what you want to do. It's the same way someone comes to you and says, I want to do this. And because you think you can't do it, you tell the person, no, this one you go hard. You don't know what the person, what resources the person has. You don't know who the person knows. You don't know who the person's father is. You don't know what his leg is on. Like, so when people come and they have ideas, encourage them.
Listen to them.
I also learned that recently, because at first someone will come to me, I'm like, nah, you can't do it. Nah, you can't do it. But now I'm a bit more accommodating. You tell me, I'm like, so how do you intend to do this? And the person will give you, I have this cousin in the ministry. I have this person who works at this place. I'm like, okay.
That is why.
That is why you think you can do this. Because me, I don't have anybody in this space. So, works out.
Okay. I want us to talk about leadership a bit. You, again, looking at the places you played, because that's something that's very interesting. 12 years and more, what's been like some of the values in these places? How are you leading these teams coming together? We spoke about partnership and you'll be very good at that bit, right? You are leading Jambo. You have like the music part, which is still running if I'm correct.
Yeah.
You have the brand
It's
Meister.
actually I'm coming back properly. So, leadership. Leadership is a very interesting topic. Naturally, I'd prefer to be behind the scenes.
Okay.
I wish I wasn't even doing this interview, like naturally.
Yeah.
But it's become a necessity that, they say be visible, so
Be visible.
accept. But I wish I'm just in my corner doing my thing and it's happening. But I've learned to be a leader. I wasn't born a leader. I don't think I was born a leader. Like, I've always been that guy that when we sit in class, I'm at the back. When people are doing things, I want them to take the lead. Like, anything that, even if I'm with my wife, I want things to happen, I want her to do it, and then I just want, I like being served, right? But I've learned to be a leader because of circumstance over time, and I think I've owned it. Like, I've been able to own it. And what I've learned most in leadership is that the people who you work with, you need to let them also feel like they own what they are doing. If you don't do that, it's hard to get things done, because when people are waiting to take instructions from you,
nothing can never be done.
Yeah, unless the thing you're doing, unless you don't want to scale up or you don't want to do more things. But my hands are into so many things, and the best way I can get people to do things is to let them feel like, you know your shit, do it, impress me, right? I'll first give you, there's something I do, anytime I hire someone, I give them, like I sit with them like what I'm doing with you and give them like a full breakdown of my journey.
Okay.
So that they see where I started from and where I am and what I am capable of.
Okay.
And then now I leave you to impress me. So the whole time they are working for you or working with you, they are trying very hard to emulate and be as great as you. And you need to always encourage them that it's your thing. And I'm not one person that will take anyone's shine. Like when I'm working with people, I would always let you know, let whoever is the boss or the owner of the company know that, oh, this guy in my team who did this. Oh, this person did this. Or I'll let you do the presentation. Because that's how I was grown. My former boss, Cynthia, will always say, go and present the report. She won't say, I'm presenting the report, even though she was my boss. And by doing that, it made people know what I do and my skill sets. So empower your people, leadership. Empower the people under you and they'll lead. They'll lead so well that like they can become number twos of you, or they can become shadows of you, or they can become a mirror image of you. Yeah.
That's been exactly what you've been doing throughout.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Like, I mean, I learned it over time, but
okay.
And I've seen it working. So
I mean, that's why we're able to leave brand Meister and things to work at Twitter calls and Teresa.
Yeah, because Therese, like, you know, interesting. Therese came to me when I met Therese in 2016. She came to me that I should mentor her.
Okay.
Right, and then as we're working together, I realized there's something about her. Like, I call her my third eye. She sees things in a dimension I don't see. And you know creatives, right? If your eye is on something that this is how I want it to be, it is so hard for someone to pull you away from it.
Always focus on
you
that.
can do it to the point that it messes up. And even after it's messed up, you are still cuddling it like the ugly baby syndrome.
Yeah.
You're still like cuddling it, and it's so hard for you to walk away. So sometimes you see some creatives pursuing something, and you're like, this thing is not working, but this guy is still like running. Therese is that third eye for me. Like, she's what I call new thinking. Like, I'm looking at something this way, and she will be like, no, why don't you look at it from this angle? And it's so, like, in the beginning, it's so hard for me because I have my ego, like, hey, I'm the Meister. You say I should mentor you. You come to tell me that this is a better way.
Yeah.
But then you sometimes have to put your ego aside. Or sometimes I'll listen and I'll act like I know what I'm doing. And then I'll go home and then in the shower, I'm thinking, I'm like, she's right.
She has a point.
And then I come back. And then it's happened so many times that now, when she says, no, think of it this way, I listen. That, like, I had to learn that over time. So Therese is my third eye, like, and I always say it, like, I don't know what business I'll do that I'll not drag her along. my label, I'm restarting my label. I gave her a role in it. I'll always give her shares in anything I do, like, because she's guided me this far. Like, she's that silent person in the background saying, no, try it this way. And she'll fight it. She's not a yes man. So one thing about people who are getting successful or leading is, when you have too many yes men around you, you would make mistakes because everybody is just, oh yeah. It'll go on. Oh yeah, Meister, you know what you're doing. But someone should be able to say, no, I don't think that's the best approach. Why don't you try it this way? That's the reason. And she's one of the only people who challenges me. So yeah, if I have someone who challenges me, I'll keep it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, now I want to talk about balance. I mean, we were talking before the show. I'm a product designer, starting this YouTube team, trying to build things, have a software development startup and all that. And sometimes it gets tiring because you're thinking here, you're thinking this, you're thinking that, trying to come up with ideas and all that, and it's stressful. How are you doing it? Because I went to your website and I saw like 4 different brands under there. And I'm like, Charlie, this guy, because you have a family too, which means you have a social life and all that. How are you balancing everything? Work-life balance, like they say.
I'm not balancing it.
You're not balancing it.
I'm struggling, I tell you, like, I won't lie.
But you're still getting it done.
I mean, to an extent. I won't come and say, oh yeah, I have it all on lock. No. I just suffer. Like, I get so overwhelmed. Like, as we're speaking, I've been on a 2-week social media break. Maybe you've not noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed, because I reached out to you on Twitter.
I haven't tweeted in more than a week. I'm trying to extend it to a month, but just the way my work is, I have to kind of come back. I'm not on Instagram. I've gone off too for the same period. The only place I've been posting is LinkedIn, because it's not an active feed. And my Snapchat's available because it's messaging for me. I don't look at people's stories. But I struggle. But I have a team that helps me with some of the things. I've always struggled to have a PA. The reason is, when I have a PA, I end up managing a PA. The PA is supposed to manage me, you understand? Like, the PA is supposed to make sure that you're finishing stuff, but I end up reminding the PA, hey, have you done this? Have you done this? Also, because of how I work, and I don't do a routine work. Yeah. I'm a creative, like,
things can just come up.
I can be driving and I think up something and then I start executing, or I start planning to execute it. Now I have to be updating my PA on that. So if I have a PA, that means she should probably, or he should probably, preferably she, because I like female energy. She should probably sit me down every morning and ask me, what's new in your head? What's new in your head? And it gets a point, they'll be calling me and I'll be picking up. But I won't lie, it's hard to balance it. But my ways of tackling this is, I have a to-do list that I follow very religiously. Tick, 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 tick off. So I can get things done. And in as much as I'm doing a lot of things, not all of them are moving at the same pace. Some things are moving more than some things. And it's okay. But I feel like at the right time, when I have the real money, I can get the right people to just run the things and I empower them, and then I move on. Yeah.
So are you still looking for a PA, or you've given up?
I'm still looking for a PA.
Guys, ladies.
Go and find a lady for me.
Yeah, ladies, please, if you're watching.
And the reason why I say I like female energy is, and it's something I just started realizing just 2 years ago. Everywhere I have thrived, even in corporate, it's because I had a female boss. Whenever I have a male boss, I do my best, but the energy is not the same. I don't know.
Have you figured out why? Or?
No, I just think that I do well with female energy. So at home, there's no man in my house. It's myself, my wife, my 2 daughters, 2 nannies. It's all women in my house. Wow. At work, my partners are 2 women. Therese, Natasha, our operations manager is a woman. Except the graphic designer who is a guy. Everybody's a woman.
Is able to come and work here?
No, I'm just kidding. No, but a lot of men have worked with us and they've done really well. But I'm just saying myself, I think I thrive very well with female energy. Like, I think female energy is very calming and nurturing and understanding, and my energy doesn't go well with giddy giddy. So if when I'm working with men and they're too aggressive and too giddy giddy, it doesn't do well for me. So yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. He said he's struggling.
I'll pick a female PA over a male PA.
Yeah, the ladies watching, please. Is there any requirements?
Oh, no, it just needs to be sharp. You need to be proactive. Think on your feet. Think before I think. That's it. That's just it. Yeah.
That'll be hard. But all the best to you guys.
Oh, there are people like that. Like, there are people I meet and I'm like, yo, like, this guy they think like, yeah.
How?
I have a videographer here. So every video on the Jambo page is shot with a phone.
Okay.
If you look at it, you think they're shot with DSLR, but and the guy is called Jeffrey, so talented. Jeez, that guy. And over time, I've been working in this thing for like 12 years, right? Most of the time when I'm working with a videographer, they'll send me first cut, I'll make edit, second cut, third cut. We'll do until final. Even music choice. Jeffrey is the only person who would send me a video since he joined. I look at it one time, I'm like, post.
Wow.
It's crazy, it's crazy. There are a few creatives like that. There's another guy called Cleopas.
Joshua?
Yeah, Joshua. Joshua is one of my favorite creatives in Ghana. Like, Cleopas can do no wrong in my eyes. Like, when he sends me something, I look at it. The most I'll say is maybe change the subtitles but the actual concept or whatever he's shot.
Perfect.
Cleopas, you have me. Let's do it.
Yeah.
He thinks the way I think, and it's very hard to find creatives like that. Yeah.
Anyways, we are wrapping up. What's one lesson you've learned in this 12 plus years that's been guiding you? And also a favorite quote. The favorite quote can be a quote from yourself. It's a quote that I've lived with. And it's so interesting. I saw the quote in the beginning of my career at the agency. It's dream it, do it. Dream it, do it. And I've lived by it since. So there are a lot of creatives that dream but don't do. There are more dreamers than doers. Do you know? Like that's every time you have your friends telling you, Charlie, I want to do this. I want to do this. If I get a Range Rover, if I do this, if one day I go to like, it's just a lot of dreams. But me, I'm like, that thing that is in my head, I want to see it. And it's not easy. Like, it's not easy to think up something, especially something that doesn't exist. Like, I mean, it's easy to set up a bank. It's easy to start a mining company. Like, I mean, obviously with the money, but because the things that have been done, like over time, it's not like a new idea, but like a lot of things I do, it's a new concept in my head. And then we'll get up and then we create it, like Jambo. When we started Jambo, it's not like, people have done similar things, but in Ghana, no one is doing this. Yeah. People are trying to do other creative spaces, but no one is doing it the way that I'm doing because it's in our heads. And then we are brought it to life. So I believe in executing your dreams. When you dream it, try as much as possible to do it if you can afford it. But yeah, don't just dream and be sitting there, oh, Charlie, I won't do this, but. So I want a G-Wagon. I've been dreaming of a G-Wagon. So you're waiting to do it, yeah? Or this time is dream it, get it. Dream it, get it. If we can build it, I'll build it for Charlie. For the people watching, right? Aspiring creatives who want to be like Meister, not like exactly like Meister, but want to create something new. If you want to be like me, I'm not ambitious. Because I'm still hustling, Charlie. Yeah. So try and be more than me, like, yeah. What advice do you have for them? Please do play. Passion. Passion is very important. Like, be passionate about what you do. Money is important, but don't let that be the lead. If money is the lead, you just be chasing your tail. So, like, passion is very important. Do it because you want to see it come to life. You understand? And the money will come. Build it, and they will find you. Like, the kind of emails I get now, like, I don't even interview for jobs. Like, and because I've been so passionate, my head has been so deep and down into what I'm doing that I just get emails, oh, Charlie, we have this project, we want you to be the lead on it. We want you to be the marketing, whatever. We want you to be the head of this. And because I'm just so passionate and working and doing things. There's so much free work I've done. There's so much project that I've been on that I just did because of Shaggy. And I might charge, but I might charge because
a little for my time, but I don't go in because first of all, Charlie, I want hammer. Yeah, but it gets your point when you have 2 kids. When you have 2 kids like me right now, when people come in, you don't let them waste your time and you let them know, please, I can only do this because I need some money. Yeah, but yeah, be passionate about what you do and don't let money be the only reason. The money will come at the right time. You can make money the only reason.
Talking about money, I have a side question.
Okay.
I mean, you've mentioned some dreams so far. If you had money now, what's one thing you invest into?
Mobility. Let me explain. So, I don't know. I've been nursing this idea and I've been talking to a couple of people who I see are into space like that. When any country becomes populated, the most common thing that you see is bicycles, motorbikes, rickshaws, because always the masses, unless it's Monaco or something, but like big countries with large populations, always the masses are lower than they're not the high spending people. And obviously they all can't afford cars and they're not even enough roads. So you would realize that, like you go to Vietnam, you see that bikes are even more than cars. Okay. Nigeria, the whole Okada thing is because of population. Even if you go to, and you see it's seeping into Ghana. So if I have money, like I'll invest in a bicycle, like mobility business, something where I can sell bikes, rickshaws, anything to the masses at probably a price where they can pay over time so that anybody can find a way to move around, because moving around is very important. Like the speed to get to where you're going, carrying things on your back. Yeah, so if I have money, I'll push it into a mobility business and I'll invest in bikes.
Who knows? Maybe someone with the money, or maybe me. We never know. All right.
Bring it.
Yeah. So we are ending, but then we have this session called Repeat and Complete, right? So I'll say a statement or a phrase, then you complete it. So an example would be, my favorite food is, you repeat it and then you complete it, right? Okay. So it's very simple. The first thing that comes to mind, so don't give it a lot of thought. So when I'm not working, you can find me
sleeping.
So yeah, no, we'll start again. You didn't get it. You repeat the same statement and add the answer.
Okay.
When I'm not working, you can find me.
When I'm not working, you can find me sleeping.
One thing people would be surprised to know about me is,
I like to be
Meister. We'll play the game till you get.
One thing. Sorry, what is it again?
One thing people would be surprised to know about me is.
One thing that people would be surprised to know about me is I love to be alone.
The first app I open in the morning is?
The first app I open in the morning is WhatsApp.
If I could have any superpower, it would be?
If I could have any superpower, it would be reading minds.
My favorite way to unwind after a long day is?
My favorite way to unwind after a long day is get into my bed, put on the AC,
and sleep.
And not sleep, and just scroll on my feed, my social media feed till I fall asleep.
You didn't mention your wife in this.
I didn't mention what?
Your wife.
But she was talking by me.
All right, last one. If I could travel anywhere in the world right now, I would go to
Thailand.
Seems like a dream.
Yeah, I want to go to Thailand.
This was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes,
and we enjoyed this conversation.
Right,
we'll do this another time. Guys, MeisterMind.